And good morning. This is Doug, and this is our second installment of Cooking with Doug. If you missed last month, we did a Valentine's themed meal. It turned out pretty good, so we thought we'd try it again. And you know what this month is? It's March, and we got St. Patty's Day to celebrate. So we're gonna stay with that theme, and we're gonna do a St. Patrick's Day meal. May not be the cabbage and the corned beef and all. We want to do something a little different because that's typically what most people are going to have. So we're going to do something a little different. But I got a helper today that I think some of you may recognize. This is Cathy Smith, and I think she worked in the congregate folks out here when we were serving meals. So this is Cathy, and we're glad to have her in the kitchen with us today, right?
Right.
If I mess up, she's going to jump in and help me out for sure. So anyway, we're glad to have Cathy help me out, and she's probably going to give you guys some facts about Ireland and Irish and everything St. Patty's Day to kind of fill in while I'm trying to assemble this meal. So I'm going to get right to it because this is going to take about 20 minutes to bake off. I'm doing a shepherd's pie, which is, I'm sure some of you have done this in the past. You take your leftovers and you're like, what the heck am I going to do with all these leftovers? And a shepherd's pie is really a great meal to use up your leftovers at the end of the week. So we're going to do, a pretty basic shepherd's pie here, nothing fancy. So what I got, and typically Irish shepherd's pie, I think they would use lamb, and we're not going to use lamb. I think ground beef is what 99% of everybody use, but I had some really nice pork loin left over from a meal that I served the seniors earlier in the week. And I really didn't want to get rid of it. I didn't have enough to save to reuse here. And I had just a bit. So I thought, I could use that tenderloin because it was so good. So we're going to try it in this shepherd's pie. And that's how versatile this dish is. You can use any of your leftovers that you have in your fridge to make this dish. So that's what we're going to start with. And you can see I've already got it chopped up. This is, let me get some gloves on so I don't, I chopped that up earlier, and I've had it in the warmer. I wanted everything to kind of be warmed up and ready to combine so this dish can go together pretty quick. And I'd like to hear any comments from you guys that have made shepherd's pie in the past. If it's something that you've made, and give me some pointers. I'm always open to suggestions for sure. So anyway, I'm going to put the pork in. These are the pork medallions that I've cut up, and it was really tender and good. So I'm just going to put that in the bowl. So a lot of people put the peas and carrots and corn, or you could do a combination of any of those three. I think typically you're going to have the corn and the peas in there, but whatever you like. I mean, you could put baby limas in there if you wanted, because you're going to use what's in your refrigerator. And I'm a big fan of taking leftovers and reusing them. So, you can use anything that's in your fridge really to combine to make this meal. So we're just going to put this in with that as well. All right. I've got some diced onion and some minced garlic that I had already browned off. And so I just kind of lightly sauteed it, and I'm going to add that to the dish too. And this recipe, you can get it from the website, the BSRI website, or the Cabbage Senior Center website. I know you could probably get it from Holly or Courtney, or they could direct you in the right direction if you wanted that information. And we'd be glad to provide it for you. It's easy. You probably made it, and you could probably tell me how to make this meal. So I'm open to anything, right? A little seasoning, some black pepper. All right, a little bit of salt. You season to taste, whatever you guys like. It does call for a little bit of ketchup. We're just cleaning the fridge out, right? This is a new one. I thought I'd try it. This is cinnamon, and I typically, when I make this dish for the seniors here at throughout Brunswick County, I've not put cinnamon in, but I'm game for anything. So we're going to try this one today as well. You'll never know, and I won't tell you if it's bad. All right, a little bit of, I got some milk. I'm actually using a little bit of heavy cream to give it a little more richness. I've got liquid margarine. All right, a little bit of egg. This is just to help kind of bind it. And I always, you could add flour at this point, a slurry. I'm a fan of cornstarch slurry, so I've got some kind of mixed up here, and I'm just going to add a little bit into this dish. And this is just going to be a thickener to make everything set up in there when you're baking it off, right? You know all about that, I know. So just a little bit of cornstarch slurry in there, just like so. And a dash of paprika. So, all right. So we've got pretty much everything combined in one big bowl. And that's the way I like to cook right here. So I'm just going to take my gloved hands. It's legal. And I'm just going to get this stuff all mixed up and happy. And it is. It's getting happy. I can tell. Is it getting happy?
Getting happy.
Yes, ma'am. Don't doubt it, right? All right. So I've got everything combined in here. And you can see, it just looks like you clean your fridge out, right? And it did. All right. I got a skillet, a cast iron skillet that I've got pre-warmed, and I'm going to bring it over, and we're going to start putting this thing together and get it in the oven. You could do this with a Pyrex, a baking dish, whatever you like to bake with. You can put it in that and cook it just like you do your normal casseroles. But you know, I like it. Looks cool. I mean, come on, it's a cast iron skillet, man. You know, it's all that. So we're just gonna put some in, right? Just like this. Just shake it down a little bit. I mean, you can eat it like this if you want to do with some bread. I don't know, but it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go. I got my potatoes that I prepared a day or so ago, and I don't waste anything. And like I said, I'm a big fan of reusing leftovers. So I had some mashed potatoes that I had left over, and I've got these over on the other prep table. And I'm gonna put that on top, and then we're gonna bake this thing quick. You know. Just like that. How easy is that? I mean, you could make this, no problem. You know, you could have it kind of made in advance if you wanted to. So I'm going to go do that. Cathy, she's going to enlighten you about Ireland, I think. So have at it, Cathy.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. Like Bill said, my name is Cathy, and I'm going to give you some facts about St. Patrick's Day. The holiday is grounded in history that dates back over 1,500 years ago, with the earliest known celebration being held on March 17, 1631. This date marks the anniversary of the death of St. Patrick in the 5th century. The real St. Patrick was born in Britain. Now, we use the shamrock to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and the shamrock was considered a sacred plant in ancient Ireland because it symbolized the rebirth of spring. Now, I have a question for everybody. Did everybody know that the shamrock and the four-leaf clover are two different plants? Well, they are. The shamrock has 3 leaves. The four-leaf clover has 4. The first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in America. And the traditional dish for St. Patrick's Day is corned beef and cabbage. We're not having corned beef and cabbage today. We're having shepherd's pie today. And I've never had shepherd's pie. I'm going to be honest, I've never had it, but I am so looking forward to eating it today, or at least trying it. So I hope you enjoy what we're doing, and we're going to enjoy what we're doing. So, okay, I have one more fact. The fact that the Irish were once born in America. So, Doug is back.
I'm back. You tell me there was no wild snakes in Ireland? That's the craziest thing, you know.
No, I didn't tell
So if you got a phobia of snakes, you know, you could move to Ireland. You'd be pretty good there. All right. So while that's baking off, we're going to go over some of the side items we made that are typically. This is like a traditional Irish meal, or with my twist on it. Typical Irish, Scotch, Irish. I don't know. But all right. This is soda bread. And man, this is like super easy to make. I mean, you got to try this. It's very rustic. And it's a very good you know, side bread to go with a meal just like this, because this is a rustic meal in my mind. You've got your, you know, the shepherd's pie and this soda bread. And I got the recipe, and if you wanted that, we can get it to you, but I'll go over it quick. It's so easy. You know, this is something that is just all the ingredients you should have. This is all-purpose flour, as well a little bit of granulated sugar, baking soda, a little bit of baking powder, all these things you got in your cupboard, salt. We all have salt. And then you've got your margarine, and that's pretty much it. And you combine everything in a bowl and this forms into a ball. And you just spread a little bit of that flour out on your surface and just throw it out there and just kind of knead it a little bit. It doesn't have yeast, but the baking soda and the baking powder, they're the activators. And I forgot to mention, it does take buttermilk. And I didn't have buttermilk here today, so I made my own buttermilk. I used some milk and I added some lemon juice, and I let it curdle for just a little bit. And it's not bad. It just starts to thicken and break the milk down. And so if you find yourself where I need buttermilk, what am I going to do to finish this dish off? Well, you can make it with a little bit of lemon juice, and it's fine. So it's simple enough if you find yourself in a snag over that. So we'll cut this later, and you know, we're gonna show you what it looks like. But it's a very rustic bread. You know, you just break it apart, and you just have at it with your dish, you know, and just you have a good time eating that one. And so as a dessert, or a little something, I stayed with the theme of soda bread, and I made soda bread cookies. I didn't know there was such an animal, but there is. And I got to thinking, I don't know if that's going to be good, you know, but I started looking at the ingredient list, and it called for like currants. Well, I didn't have any currants, but I did have some, I had some, you know, some cranberry raisins. Oh, that sounds pretty good, right? So I put that in there, and no one's tried one yet. We don't know. It's a big mystery right now. They're going to be any good. We're going to make Cathy try one first, you know, off camera too. Yeah. Well, we won't be having the third show, right? Okay. So anyway, I made these, and they're super easy, just like the soda bread. No yeast. So these are something you could throw together for a simple meal, and it's something different, or a dessert. And I did make one other dessert, and I'm kind of reluctant to show it to you because, you know, I never made it before, and I really like the concept of it, but I never made it, and I think it's something I got to practice making a couple times before I like to share it with a lot of people. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. Can you guess what it is? No. 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 It said it in, okay, so we all know that Irish, what do you think of? Well, besides Guinness beer, you think of potatoes, right? Because, you know, that's a big crop for Ireland. So, you know, you want to theme that. And so I was thinking, what can I do with potatoes for dessert? Lo and behold, there's an Irish candy, and it's called potato candy. And I know some of you folks, maybe, you know, you've heard that before, and some of you probably haven't. I don't know. I'd never heard of it in my life. But anyway, I got some over here, and I'm going to show it to you, and I'll explain how it goes together, the concept behind it, and all. So you're using your leftover potatoes, and all you do is combine leftover mashed potatoes, or make some fresh if you don't have any, and then you put confectioner sugar in there with a little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, that's it. You put it in a bowl, and you start folding it, and it starts turning into like a dough. It was amazing to me because okay, so I'm from the South. If we had leftover potatoes, we made potato cakes or a fritter, whatever you want to call it, or chipped up onion in it, you know. So we would fry up the potatoes and make a little potato cake leftover. My mom did. That was, you know, I thought that was the best thing in the world, man. But this here is leftover potatoes made into a dessert. And it firms up, and when the consistency is dough-like. So after you've got it into a ball, like you would typically anything dough, throw it in your fridge, chill it down for maybe half hour, you know, just so it's not too warm and it's just going to break apart. So you take it, and you take your roller, and you put a little bit of more confection sugar down on your surface, and you roll this potato dough out, and you make it into, you know, like you would if you were going to make, say, a pumpkin roll. You know how you do a pumpkin roll, and then you put your filling in and you roll it up. Same concept, but it's just a different, you know, different ingredients. So, and you roll it up. I didn't know, there was a lady that she's a volunteer here, Pat. I don't know, Pat might be watching, I don't know. But Pat said her mom made this dish all the time, and she was telling us how good it was. And so I was really eager to try it. And she was telling me when she looked at it today, she said, well, it looks great, but it's supposed to be in a log, you know. And I was like, okay, you know, thank you, Pat. So anyway, you know, I don't think it's going to taste any different. And we found out yesterday, I let everybody here at the center try some, because I made this yesterday, you know, just to make sure I wasn't doing something goofy. And we carved a few ends off and tried it, you know, and everybody was like, yeah, this is really great, you know, and their eyes were fluttering and everything. This thing is so sweet. I'm telling you, it's like eating fudge on steroids. No kidding. This stuff right here, man, it'll rock your world. So I know now that either Pat said I probably put too much confectioner sugar in. Thanks, Pat. So next time I make it, I'm going to tweak it a little bit, and I'm going to try to tone it down, because you know, it is good. So once you roll this potato dough out, you take your peanut butter and you just slather it on, like making a big peanut butter sandwich. You just slather the peanut butter on, and you get it around the edges, and then you just slowly start rolling it up. And you roll it up. Now that you've got confectioner sugar down, that's to keep it from sticking to the surface or whatever you're working on, because it'll get a little sticky. So that confectioner sugar, it kind of keeps it from sticking. So you're going to want to put a little layer of confectioner sugar down. And plus, it's going to taste good. And you just sweeter, and you just roll it up, put it back on your pan, just like so. Throw it back in the fridge. I would suggest a couple hours to let it really firm up. You know, because that's what you want. And then take it out, and then you can, this will feed 100 people. You know, if you ever had baklava, and I know you have, you know how you eat it and it's like, it's so good, and you're like, I can't have any more, you know, and this is it. And, you know, that's what you got right here, because it's super sweet, but it is good, you know, in a small portion. It's good. But I'll just see if I can give you a picture of the inside once it's rolled up. So you got your peanut butter in there, you know, and you got your different layers of your potato and everything. It's pretty cool. And I'd never heard of it before, but pretty neat. So I'm going to work on this one. I'll bring this one back at a later date when I'm feeling, you know, like I hit a home run on it or something. So you know how that goes, right? All right, Kathy's going to endear you some more. I'm going to go check on this this meal, and I'm going to see where we're at, right?
Right.
Give me info.
Okay, I don't have any more St. Patrick's Day information. However, I can share my experience with corned beef and cabbage. Did not know it was an Irish tradition, but I've tried to do the corned beef and cabbage, and I think they'll cook themselves, but Cathy found a way for them to mess them up. So I stopped trying to do that. And the bread, let me tell you, you're in for a surprise. It is beautiful, but it is hard as a rock. I was in the store the other day, and I saw the soda bread, and it was in a package. So I mashed it to see if it was going to be soft bread, and it was not. So when I told Doug about it, I said, Doug, is this bread always this hard? He said, well, yeah, it's a little firm. He used a different word than I would have used, but he said, yeah, it's just a little firm. But everybody I've talked to that tried the soda bread loved it. So, and I really like crunchy bread. I don't know if I would like that, because it is a little bit more crunchier than what I'm accustomed to. But everybody I've talked to said the bread is delicious. So, Doug is back.
I'm back. Okay, so we're coming along fine. Everything's looking really good. I got the timer set for about 5 more minutes. I tipped it out, and it's so close, but I'm gonna let it go just a few more minutes, and we're gonna bring it back over here, and we're gonna have a look-see at it, and put it on a plate, and let's just kind of see what it looks like. You know, nothing different, like any other meal like that. So We'll break it out here. Ah, perfect. Lay these right here for now. I'll get a scoop.
Cathy, what do you think about green beer?
The green beer. Last year I went to an Irish pub. Well, actually it was 2019 before the pandemic. And a group of us met at this Irish pub. And of course I had never had Irish food. So I ordered the burger. And when they brought out the green beer, oh, by the way, Burger King serves green ketchup during St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my goodness.
And it is tastes just like regular ketchup, but it's green. But anyway, back to the green beer. I'm afraid to try certain things, and beer not supposed to be green. So I ate the food, but I didn't drink the beer.
Oh.
Everybody else at the table did have green beer.
It's kind of one of those things you got to test it out.
Well, they enjoyed it. They said it was good, but you know, I just wasn't ready. But I'm gonna try it out.
Okay.
Okay.
This year.
Yes, this year.
You missed the best part. You should have had that green beer, right?
I know now.
Hey, you know what you do? You take some of that ketchup, that green ketchup, and you save it back until about July, and you put some on a burger, and everybody's going to be like, don't eat that. What's wrong with that ketchup? And you say, nothing wrong with that ketchup. I like mine aged like that. That'd freak them out, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, that will.
All right. You know what? I think it's pretty close. I'm going to go grab this out of the oven, and we'll plate it up, and we'll see what we'll cut this soda bread up too, and we'll see what we got here, and we'll let Cathy be a guinea pig on this cookie here. Yeah. So I haven't tried it. I don't know anything.
Well, Cathy loves sweets, so I'll be your guinea pig for the sweets.
Sounds good. All right. I like that. Good sport. Let me try it.
And the good thing is we have 2 holiday sweets, and I love sweets. So I don't need them around me all the time because I will eat them until they are all gone. I don't have any mercy on sweets. They were made to be eaten, and I eat them. So hopefully when I get to try the cookies, I will be able to give you a good report, and I'm sure I will. Doug is an excellent, excellent cook.
Holy moly. That's what I'm talking about right there, folks. So you've got this nice shepherd's pie browned off with a little bit of mild cheddar cheese on top. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I don't mind saying so myself, you know. That looks good. What do you think?
I think it looks good.
You going to have that first or have the cookie first?
I want all of it.
You got it. All right. Let's carve this bread up and just have a peek at it and see what it looks like, you know. Like I said, if you guys, this is an easy bread to make. No yeast involved, very minimal, you know, kneading. It's not very kneady, so, you know, it's one of those types. Yeah. All right, let's carve this up. It's a rustic bread, and you're going to love it. So I cooked this earlier. Check it out. It's so dense. It's a nice bread. It's good, and it goes well with this or a stew. We were real close to making an Irish stew today, and we thought, you know, that's cool and all, but we couldn't show you anything because it was going to take so long to cook it off where it would be like really good. So this is the bread, the soda bread, and these are soda cookies, soda bread cookies. So we're just staying with the whole theme today of the Irish meal. I'm going to put some on a plate and let you see what it looks like. And you remember, you know, most of the time you put ground beef in this dish, and I utilize my leftovers today, and so this has got really good pork tenderloin in it. You can see right there, man. That's what you want when you know, you got you a nice a hearty meal right there with your cream potatoes. And if you don't like cream potatoes, you're not American. I'm sorry, you got an issue. Right there. So that's a nice plate. Simple. And if you wanted to add like a little tossed salad with that or something, if you just felt like you had to have some rabbit food, you know, then that would be good. But you could add anything, asparagus or whatever side item that you'd like to have with this. But I think that's a meal in itself right there, you know. I mean, I can't imagine wanting anything else to go with that. I mean, like a soda bread cookie. We'll throw that on there, right? All right. Well, it looks good. I tell you, thank y'all. Spread the word. If you got any suggestions, get back with Holly or Courtney about anything that you see that we could do to improve this. It's a trying time, and we're just trying to have a little fun, you know, up here, and let you know that we're still on the go button. All we need is the green flag, and we're coming at you, right? So we're going to be ready for you. So next month, I think we've already got a theme for April. Holly put together, and it's I had no idea, but it's National Scampi Month. Scampi. So we're gonna do scampi shrimp, which is good. And you know what? We may even get some local catch. That would be fun, huh? Some Cali fish shrimp down here, and pecans. Pecans. National Pecan Month. What do we think about that? Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm going to come up. We're going to come up with some type of dessert, or we may put pecans. I don't know. Scampi. Who knows what we're going to do? So if you got any ideas, throw them at us. We'd like to hear what you think, and you know, if there's anything we can do to improve this. We want to keep doing it until we can get up here and do it for you live. Wouldn't that be fun to have the whole group in here and me up here acting like a nut? So we like that. And thanks for Cathy being a good sport today. Yeah. Filling in all these Irish facts, right?
Yes, I have one more before we go.
You got one more?
Yes, I have an Irish blessing before we go.
Oh, awesome. Before we eat. I like that. Let's do it. Let's hear that.
Okay. May your troubles be less. May your blessings be more. And nothing but happiness come through your door.
Oh, awesome. I got one thing to add to that. You just live your best life each and every day. All right.
Cheers.
There it is. See you next time. Cool. All right, that's your plate. You got to try the cookie first, though.